looks like you've got some changes in store for tonight's game. Can you just talk a little bit about what we saw in the morning skate today?
Yeah, Zingle will come in for Haley. Coburn will come in for Mike Riley, who's banged up. We hope to have him back in the next couple games.
We saw Mike getting some attention at the end of the bench during the Montreal game when he went hard into the end boards. Is that sort of the result of him being out tonight?
Yeah, it's nothing major. Yeah, it's nothing major, but that is for sure. Mikey's played some great hockey for us. The last 10, 15 games, he's been one of our best defenders. So we're gonna miss him, but we'll get the job done.
Does Dzingel with Tierney and Watson, if you're going to continue with that tonight, does that give you some pretty good balance through all four lines?
Yeah, it does. I think especially, we've got, I think it's 8 games in 12 days or something like that. Everyone's got to play and everyone's got to be a part of this. And there's a good feel in that locker room, and we want to roll the forward lines over. And if we want to play fast and play with some pace, we need guys like Zinger and these guys to be buzzing around out there.
We'll go to Bruce Garriock at Post Media.
Hey, DJ, I got a few for you. Just what do you hope Dzingel can bring to the table?
Well, I know when I was in Toronto how dangerous he looked from the other bench, how fast he is off the puck. Obviously he's been in the league and he's comfortable here in Ottawa and he can score. It'll just give us more depth there and give us, when if the other team wants to play a certain matchup, their top pairing D against, Brady or Batherson, a guy like Zingel's going to get lower pairing D and hopefully he can expose him.
What have you had? Eric Branson was taking a lot of heat on social media. What have you thought of his play?
He's been good. He's played really well. Everyone has bad games, but he's been physical, especially off the cycle. I'd say if you ask the other team if they want to play against Eric Branson, the answer would be no. He's one of the toughest guys in the league. He's been a good penalty killer for us. You ask the guys in the locker room, they love him, and he's a big part of this team.
And the last thing for me, two things. Number one, are you hoping to get Decord in a game again? And then the other thing, what do you like about that Shabbat-Zub pairing?
Well, I think it breaks it up on the road, and the teams have different lines. We don't get last change. With Mikey out, it's a chance to try a pairing that we really haven't had. So we'll give them a go here tonight. And Joey played really well. It certainly warrants another start.
Ian Mendez at The Athletic.
Yeah, a couple questions for you, DJ. You've had a lot of success, I think, finding the right chemistry with your forward alliance. What's the process been in trying to find that same kind of chemistry with your D pairings?
Well, it depends if the other team's a one-line team or not one-line team, but load up a line. Certainly Zaitsev's the prototypical defender back there, and you want Shabby to be able to play against everyone. So, when those two are together, they've had good games, they've had off games, but we're still looking to find that right mix. I think 5 and 2 has been the most comfortable mix for us back there. Certainly he's out tonight. That'll hurt us, but and when you find it, and the players read off each other. So we're still tinkering with it, and hopefully 72 and 2 could be one of those matchups maybe.
And my other question is, as we kind of get close to the halfway point of the season, I'm just wondering what you've thought of Shabbat's game in his own zone, not offensively, where I think he creates a lot, but just how would you evaluate Thomas Shabbat's play in his own zone, DJ?
Well, I think he's had great games and he's had some off games, but in saying that, he's playing against the best players in the world. I mean, our division has Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, Mitch Marner, Pettersson, Scheifele. I mean, he plays the tough minutes against those matchups. He isn't playing against other teams, 1C lines here tonight. Their last game, Monahan, Lindholm, and Goodrow. I mean, these are real 1A lines in the National Hockey League, and he's defending against them every night. So, he's playing against the best in the world. I think he continues to get better. I thought his game against Calgary at home was great against that top line, and he's a player that continues to get better for us.
Matt Tidcombe at Senators.com.
Hey, DJ, just how deliberate was it to put Dzingel with Tierney, considering obviously they played together in Ottawa a couple of years ago?
Well, you know what? We look at chances for, chances against over segments, the last 3-4 games. And one of the guys that stuck out was Anisimov, had 5 chances for in his last 3 games. So, putting him with a Stützle Batherson gives us an advantage there. And then Tierney and Zingle knowing each other and being a little familiar with each other allows them to play. And then the other two lines, I think, have been good all year.
The final one will be from Josh Clipperton at Canadian Press.
Hey, DJ. Hard to believe, but we're coming up on a year on the pandemic really shutting things down. You guys are obviously in the last game. You were in California. You're the team that had the early positives. What sticks with you about that period?
It's hard to believe that it's a year, but I can tell you, where we were a year ago, and the development of some of these kids and them coming in, the Tim Stützles and the Bathersons, the Norris and these guys. It's so exciting to be a part of this and to watch these guys slowly turn into men here in front of us, learning to play the right way, learning to close out games. And, it's been a long year, but an exciting one, and there's more to come.